Gravity Badgers is a physics-based puzzle game set in the depths of space. This cheap downloadable title contains over 140 levels, and for the most part is not too shabby. The objective of each level is to get your badger from one side of the screen to a green wormhole. There are many obstacles to deal with, such as orbital fields of planets, laser barriers, giant ice cubes, and floating enemy worms. Each level feels different from the last. This is due to the very clever puzzle designs. The difficulty of the game is pretty low for the first 75 levels. Certain missions can be done with one try, but the latter half of the game is way harder, with some puzzles requiring 10 to 15 minutes to beat. This is due to how precise the requirements are when aiming the badger. Quite literally, aiming 1 pixel too far to the left or too far to the right results in failure. Every level contains 3 orbs to collect. Unlike in Cut the Rope, these orbs aren't required to unlock future levels, but are necessary for certain trophies. The controls work pretty well. They are easy to use and give the player a lot of control when flinging the badger. The controls are almost identical to Angry Birds. There is only one problem with the controls, and that is the issue where the game will zoom out by accident when the player is trying to increase the speed of the badger. This issue wasn't major, but it was annoying. There are multiple boss fights, and they are easily the best parts of the game. The gameplay is excellent, especially in the latter fights. The dramatic music is also pretty good. The game does have a story about a group of badgers being held hostage by a gang of space worms, but it is merely there to keep the puzzles flowing and to add additional badger skins. This isn't a big deal though, because the game is purely about gameplay, and I also wasn't really expecting a massive story from a game called Gravity Badgers. The overall presentation isn't that great either, with fairly bland visuals. The soundtrack is pretty poor for the most part of the game. The tracks are just 15-second loops. The exceptions are the boss fights, which have a great dramatic tone. The soundtrack being bad wouldn't be an issue if the game allowed you to play your own music, but since the game pauses your songs, it is a problem. Gravity Badgers, although not perfect, is a fun game which provides about 3.5 hours worth of gameplay for a very low price of $5. The Vita version is certainly the best because there are a number of easy trophies to collect, and also super fast load times, which makes this game perfect for gaming on the go. Therefore, the game gets a very high C grade. Gravity Badgers is a fun game, which is a worthy addition to the Vita's library. Do you have an opinion on the Vita's growing lineup of puzzle games? If so, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.